Hello, everybody, and welcome to the group and to the live. So I decided to do my lives at lunch now every Wednesday. I feel that more people are gonna be able to benefit from all over the world than being in the evening where most people just want to eat and relax. So hope you're doing great, you're having a great time, and you're enjoying this short week. For my part, I will enjoy 4 days off this weekend to pray most of the time, to just pray and meditate and feel the gratitude and the blessings of everything I have and everything I have created. So for those who are joining, welcome, welcome. I just love to know where you're from and what brought you to the group, how to write a book. But it's not just about writing a book. This group is really about how to build a successful business leveraging a book. And I'd like to do this live on where to start. There's potentially a lot of people that are thinking of writing a book that are here that have not yet started or have written a book in the past and now want to write their second or third or, like myself, 42nd book. In my case, where to start is pretty easy because I've done it so many times. I know how to do it with one hand attached behind my back. So where do you start when writing your book? The first thing, and again, the way I teach things in this group are different than what you would see somewhere else because I really start with the end in mind. So I don't explain things like you would have most people explain on how to write a book. So in my perspective, and if you really want to make money with your book, I think that's really the objective here. And I want to make a parenthesis because there's a lot of people that start a book or want to write a book. They have the intention of making money, but they do it all wrongly because they start a book first and spend a lot of time developing a project without having a real goal in mind. So making money, yeah, sure, everybody wants that. Dreaming of becoming a published author, multimillionaire, best-selling worldwide. I know the feeling. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. But it takes strategic work to make it work well. And nowadays there is a precise system for success so that you're not left all over the place wondering how to go about to write a book. So where to start is really starting at the end. And starting at the end, what that means is knowing where your book will, what's the real purpose of the book, what you really want to do with it. So if you want to give it for free to leverage your business, that's one option. If you want to sell a lot of copies, that's a second option. If you want to use your book to then create digital products, courses, a series of books, that's a third option. So really, in order to start, you have to start with the end result that you want to achieve. What is the goal of writing the book? And not just writing the book first and then hoping that things are going to evolve in the way that the wishful thinking do. So what I would suggest is first create the precise, exact, clear, focused goal you want to achieve. So what that goal can look like is, and when I speak of precise, it really has to be precise if you want to reach it. So what that can look like is, well, and I'll give you exactly what I've done with my 41st book, which is called Seven Figure Website. The book had a precise intention. I want the book to reach 1 million copies sold, but the most intention that I want with it is if I can have 1 million people get the book for free so that they can go on my platform and become a member of my website so that I can, among those 1 million people that would be on my platform and on my website, achieve maybe 3%. Already that's a lot. But if I can have the end result of having 3% of those join a specific course that I have in mind that's precisely done for people who have that interest of building a 7-figure consulting business, and out of that 3%, if I can get maybe 10 people a year that join my, or 20 would be a lot now, but if I look at short term, it would be 10 people a year that join my ultimate done-for-you 7-figure websites. That would be like the goal. So when I wrote my book, that was my goal. You need to understand that the book is only a means, is only a leverage you use to reach the goal that you want. So if the goal is, well, I want to have consulting clients, how many consulting clients you want to have? A month, a year? What's the amount of money you want to achieve? How much a month, a year? So you need to have those really precisely done before you even put pen to paper. And then you see, okay, so my goal is to have 10 clients a month at $5,000 per client. That's $50K a month for a year, $500,000 in the first year, 2 years after my book is out. Now your goal is pretty clear. And then the second goal is, what's going to be my vertical? What's going to be my specialty? What is going to be the angle that nobody else has done before? Or how can I position my subject in a way that's going to get me the traction to eventually get those 10 clients a month within a year? And then you work on that. So if your subject is, let's say, keto cooking, well, you're going to want to be specific on what kind of keto techniques you're going to be using that nobody else has done before, or know what are the largest market of high paying clients I can get with what type of coaching or consulting, and how can I position myself in being the expert in that field, and what do I need to do day to day, step by step, in order to become the expert in that field. So once you have that in mind, knowing, okay, my end result now I know is to be the expert, the renown, or gain authority, or become the authority figure, or gain like the traction of being looked at as an expert in the field of, and so you decide of the field of the vertical. In this case, in my case, it is 7-figure websites, because I'm really good at it. I know exactly precisely how to build $1 million business. I know that. I've done it so many times. For me, it's like a done deal. So I know that I have that expertise, and it's a very precise expertise, is how to build $1 million consulting business within a year using a website and a book. So again, it's a vertical that's extremely precise, but the more precise you become, the more you are a specialist and an expert. Guess what happens? The more you charge, the less you need leads. The mistake that people do is they believe they need a ton of leads. I need, like I said, 1 million people, but the reason I want 1 million people on my membership is because I also sell digital content that is on an automated basis that I don't even have to think about. So that's the second reason. But what I really want, my end result for my own business, was to have 10 clients a year. So you see, it's very precise. It's a small number, but it doesn't matter, because that small number is enough for me to make a few $1,000,000 out of it. So that's how you think. You need to think in terms of specialty, in terms of expertise, in terms of segmentation, in terms of niche, in terms of target, and then you work your way backwards. You reverse engineer the end results you want to start with the title of the book. A lot of people start with the title of the book. Wow, great, good for you. But who's going to read it? Why are you writing it? And some people spend years developing a book without even doing any kind of market research. What happens? You go to a publisher. What's the first thing they're going to ask? 2 questions. What's your platform? How many people are your fans or are on your platform? The second question they're going to ask, what's your marketing plan? Where is your business plan? Today, a book has to have a business plan because it's a business. It's no longer the world of poets and of artists, although that too exists. But in this group, we talk about making books to make money, not to dream and be in wish land, la la land. So if you have, and a great example is if you know of great experts or geniuses in a specific field, well, you know also that they're going to charge more. If you want, for example, to get your car fixed, well, depending on the level of expertise and the price of your car, the mechanic's price is going to change as well. So you want to be like the specific engineer for the motor of Lamborghinis. That's what you want. So, and if you are, for example, a specialist in how to get out of debt, that's great. But most likely you're going to have a lot of people in debt and a lot of people that don't have a lot of money to pay you. So you need to really look at the angle and how you're going to attack the market to get people that actually have the money to pay for your services and a niche that maybe has not yet been digged into. My current book, 7-Figure Website, is doing amazingly well for the first week of sales. I checked the numbers yesterday, and it's surprisingly well for a book that was launched just like that, without a pre-launch. So there's always the question, pre-launch or not. I just launched it because I felt like it and because I know what I'm doing in terms of scaling the business afterwards. But usually it's better to have a platform and a pre-launch, which helps the sales when the book comes out. But I'm not doing it for book sales. I'm doing it for the business that's supported by the book sales. That's the second mistake that a lot of people make. The first one being starting with the title and starting to write right away. The second one is thinking about book sales. Oh, I want my book to sell 1 million copies. Good luck. It's a hard market out there, and you have to be really ingenious to know how to sell a book for 1 million copies. It might cost $1 million to sell 1 million copies of books. So you have to be really like smart in knowing that selling a book is not what's going to make you the most amount of money. You don't need to sell 1 million copies of a book to become a millionaire. I remember my first book became a bestseller, and the business connected, the website connected to that book became $1 million business. But I sold a few thousand copies. I didn't sell millions of copies. Everybody's always asking, well, Slavika, how many thousands well, now I'm in the tens of thousands, but there was a time when people would ask me, how many thousands or millions of copies of your book have you sold? And I was like, why? I don't care. That's not how I make my money. So where you start is you start at the end. Always in anything you do, not just writing books, but business plans, any kind of venture, you always start with, what do I want to have? I remember I also have a film production company. Where did I start with my film production company? two things. I wanted to have my production company worth $100 million. That was my first goal. My second goal was I wanted to start with having at least one Oscar. So when you start with those, with the goal in mind, then you reverse engineer and ask yourself, what will it take for me to accomplish this? What will I have to do to get to that goal? And then you start planning, strategizing, mind mapping, researching like crazy. And then you start thinking about the title. It's almost at the end that you come up with a title of a book. Unless, you've done this many, many times, whereas then you already know that everything will be combined. And the title of the book should also be the title of your website. The URL should most importantly be connected to the bonus section of your website, which will be the membership site of your book, and so on and so forth. So I hope this helps in terms of understanding where to start. And where to start is really to thinking what you want to achieve. And what you want to achieve is have more money for your business. And in the research of how am I going to have more money for the business, one of the possibilities or one of the branches is I'll write a book. I'll write a book. Why? Well, it's going to put me as an authority figure in this kind of field. I give you just an example, a parenthesis of how far this can go. My first officially published book was a book on the law of attraction. It had a massive success. I actually had back-to-back 2 books on the same subject, just because the author that was supposed to do the second book kind of got out, disappeared, and they gave me 2 books to write back-to-back and I had to write them each in about 4 to 6 weeks. And then it became extremely successful. I built an online business around the law of attraction, and I created an automated digital product about the law of attraction that sold like hotcakes. And suddenly I became an expert in the law of attraction. And that led me to have my green card as a person with extraordinary ability in the law of attraction and self-help. So you see that it can lead to extraordinary events. I would have never in a million years thought that the fact that I became an expert in that field would allow me to have the credibility to actually become a U.S. citizen in that specific field. Mind you, I've coached thousands of people in the field, and I am an expert in the field now. That's 100% sure, but that's not my only element of expertise. So you can write many, many books on different expertises, different levels of expertise, and launch several different multi-million-dollar businesses, one by each product, one for each book, and just have them automated. And then it's kind of a rinse repeat. Once you've done one, you can easily copy paste. That's what I've been doing for the last 7-8 years. Just copy paste the businesses. So when you start writing a book, research the competition. So research what's already on the market. When I was writing my 7-figure website, before I start writing it, I do that for the films as well. Before I start writing a script, I'm gonna research massively what has been done already in the market, what has gained traction, what has not, what has failed, what has been successful, how many of the same subjects are out there. And I would recommend you do the same. You have to research exactly like a business, just like a business plan. It's going to help you also understand your niche. It's going to help you understand your target. It's going to help you understand, because you can look at other books that are there that are very successful, try to research their target market, see what you can do a little bit differently so that you gain the same target market but on a different aspect. Because people who are interested in a subject usually don't just read one book. They usually don't just buy one product, right? Women, we have like 4 shampoos at home or, 10 different hair brushes or makeup doodads. So we don't usually buy one thing. You don't have one pair of shoes. So if someone sold a pair of shoe once, it doesn't mean that that person is not going to buy another pair of shoe. So you can target the same kind of audience, but on maybe a twist on the first subject. And there's a thing I learned while writing screenplays and being in the film industry is that it's the same but different. So whatever is successful, if you can do something that's the same but different, you'll be successful. So find all the content or everything that has had success in the past for the niche or the subject or the kind of coaching or consulting or product or service that you want to sell, and then reverse engineer from there to know how you can make it the same but different. And also look at all the failures, the biggest failures, because of course you don't want to be one, so you want to learn from the people who failed. Why did they fail? Why didn't it work? And also you want to see, and it might not be the subject. Some people say, oh, don't write about that. Look, it failed tremendously. It's not because someone failed that you will fail. It's maybe they didn't use the right marketing technique. Maybe they failed in their niche, in their cover, in the way they positioned their book. So it's really not necessarily about failing with the subject or with the content, maybe failing in many different ways. So you can really study other people's failures to make sure that, 1, you don't repeat the mistakes others have done, and 2, you understand why in that particular niche or field, that book in particular didn't make it. What was that ingredient that you don't want in your product, or that you can do better so that you can actually achieve the results that you want to achieve. So I hope this kind of clarifies your idea of where to start, what to do, and that it will help you, of course, start on your path. And I want to end by, of course, inviting you to reach out, to have more information. I have built an entire course on how to write a book and publish it and market it and launch it and have the website and funnel done for you. Actually, we do the website and the funnel so that all you have to do is write the book, and how to write a book in 60 days or less with all the support and all the intelligence and all the marketing knowledge and everything, so that it supports you in that journey to have a finished product, to have something completed at the end. Not just completed, but to be successful and know how to build a business around it, how to make money with it, not just by selling the book. We teach you how to really sell a lot of books, but mostly we teach you how to use your book to multiply your income streams and increase your revenue with each sale. So we help you with many, many different aspects of the marketing and, of course, the writing strategy and how the whole thing has to be connected for it to be successful. There is a special way to do things in the right way to have a successful business out of a book, and not have a book on Amazon that you paid someone to write or that you wrote yourself, and that at the end of the day has like 3 people who bought it, or no one bought it, and or it's not been written in a way that anybody wants to read it or that anybody wants to buy it. The reason why my book is my 41st book is extremely successful now on Amazon is because I did everything. I'm doing everything the way I know how to do, and so every single aspect has been microscopically analyzed for it to be successful. There is a system to success. It is not luck. It is not by chance that people are successful. And it is not by chance that the most successful out there are writing books and putting books out there, even when they're millionaires. So think about that. Think why billionaires write books and put books. It's not just an ego trip. There is a bigger machine going on in the background that is the purpose and the reason why people put books out on the market. So I hope this helps you. And of course, reach out if you want us to reach out to you and find out if you fit within the model of the course that I put together. Raise your hand so that me or someone from my team can reach out to you and see if it's a good fit for you to be part of it, and for us, I mean, also, because it's a lot of energy and a lot of work we put in our support system, because there's a huge support system that supports every single participant to make sure that they complete the book. There's a lot of courses out there and memberships out there and stuff out there that is made so that you fail, so that you buy the upsell. My course is not like that. My course is made so that not only you succeed in finishing that book, but you succeed in making a pile of cash with it. So, and there will be most likely an upsell, but the upsell is made because you're going to have a ton of money. So it's very different. So I thank you for watching. Again, raise your hand if you want to have more information about the special course that I put together, the special program that's going to bring you from scratch to hopefully a bestseller. That's our goal, with a ton of copies sold, but more importantly, a very high level business attached to it that's making you have another cash machine. Thank you and have a great day.